How's it going, YouTube? In today's video, we'll be talking about 5 steps to increase your rank in League of Legends. Let's get into it. So one of the very first steps we're going to talk about, it's probably one of the hardest steps, is definitely the mentality. The mentality of that it's our teammates' fault, it's someone else's fault, they're the reason why I lost this game, oh, it's just because it was a support div. Changing this mentality is everything, because you want to have the mentality of you can always do something better. There's always something to learn in every single one of these games. I don't care if you have a 0 and 10 mid laner, I don't care if you're a support int. It's all about what could you done differently in that game, or what could you learned in that game, because there's always at least one thing that you could have done differently. Is a minion that you should have not have killed, a wave that you should not have pushed, a micro we don't really want to worry about. It's more the macro, like the bigger decisions in the game that was really like the turning point, that like, oh, you could have got a kill here or you could have died less. Changing your mentality to do that is the biggest step in League of Legends to help you increase your rank. Alright, onwards, number 2, narrowing down your champ pool. Now, I know everyone loves, and so do I love playing such a wide variety of champions, but if you truly want to improve in League and you truly want to climb, you really need to narrow down your champ pool to 2 to 3 champs. And the reason you want to do this is because there's limitations to every champion's knowing how much damage you deal, how much how tanky you are, how squishy you are. And if you're just playing such a wide variety of champions, you can't learn the core fundamentals of League of Legends because you're so worried about like, oh, I don't know if I kill this person. You're more worried about learning the champion than the game itself. So by narrowing down our champion pool to 2 to 3 champion, you can focus more on learning the game itself than rather the champion. Onwards to step number 3. It's probably one of my favorite things to do, and it's to VOD review. It's actually to go over certain parts of the game and learning from it. I would definitely say, as a big suggestion to you guys, is really focusing down on certain points in the game. And of course, I would definitely recommend the early game. The early game is probably one of the most important things, because like, if you can get through laning phase and go even or get ahead, you're gonna have a lot easier time than if you're trying to say, all right, I'm gonna learn macro, and you're just like hard losing the early game. Well, it's kind of hard to learn macro if you're just really far behind. So it's really good to focus on the early game, whether or not it's like lane management, how to CS, stuff like that, and going over after your games to be like, all right, where in this lane did I mess up? Where did I overstay, not take a proper back, take a too aggressive trade, and really pinpointing those stuff in your VOD reviews is such a great way to learn, such a great way to really improve yourself so you don't make those common mistakes over and over again. Step number 4 for improving in League of Legends is learning how to reduce your deaths. There's so many times when I'm reviewing op.gg's and just seeing people with 6+ deaths. And if you really take your time and just using like VOD reviews, stuff like that, and trying to see where you're dying needlessly, because I promise you, there's times where you're just dying for absolutely no reason and you're just getting caught out. And if you can really learn and pinpoint those points in the game and learn how not to die when those situations come up, you'll find yourself just being in more important fights of when you're supposed to be rather than getting caught out. And that will greatly increase your rank in League of Legends by doing that. So my final tip and my final step for you guys is honestly learning how to dodge. Learning how to dodge is so important, because when you're going into these games, if you have players that are just like 3 players that are filled, the likelihood of you winning that game has been drastically reduced. And it's so much better that you just take the -3 and try to get a lobby where everyone's on their main champ is so important. So what you do is, I use a website called op.gg. So what I'll do is you open that up, you copy and paste the lobby, and you press enter, and it's going to come up with here. Now, if you look and be like, all right, everyone's on their main role, but except for one person. So I have one person that's autofilled in my game, but honestly, like, this person's doing really well. It doesn't really look like they really play support. It actually looks like they're a jungler. So I'm going to say they're on roll, and everyone's doing really good. Everyone's on a win streak. Everyone's really good. So like, I want to play this game. Now, if you open this up and you see people are on like a 5-game lose streak, you have people that are autofilled, then Your best bet is honestly just to take the -3 and try again next lobby. It's an important skill of League of Legends of learning how to dodge. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed my content. I do hope to see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys.